Today's review is one of my sort of finds for 2021. This is from the Quantock Brewery and it is an IPA called Unclear Profession. Well, what's it going to be like? Keep on watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today, well, we've had a bit of a lull over Christmas. Haven't been doing too many reviews, and I'm now sort of having a catch up really because I just wanted to enjoy drinking over Christmas instead of having to think about reviewing everything. But this is one of the beers I bought just before Christmas. It's from Quantock Breweries. Now these are based down in Somerset in the West Country. And to be honest, everything I've heard from Quantock has been pretty good. Some of them have been very good, and to me, they're a bit my find really of 2021, and I just want to see how they're going to develop further. But this beer seems to be pretty good. I mean, in terms of what it says on the can, it says this is the 8th release of our rolling New England IPA series, taking the New England IPA range to the next level. With each inspiration, this vibrant beer becomes hazier and juicier than the one before. Some may call this an unclear progression, hence the name of the beer. Now, this is hopped with Idaho 7, Mosaic, Simcoe, and Talus. And percentage-wise, 6.3%. So, in my opinion, the sweet spot for an IPA. And as I said, Quantock are, as I say, a very good brewery. They're a bit under the radar, and I'm hoping for even better things in 2022. And within a few days, I'm going to get it out before the end of the, or record it before the end of the year. I'll be doing my review of 2021, both music stuff that new bands and albums that have been released this year that I've really enjoyed, but also the beer stuff as well. And I'm going to do probably my top 10 breweries of 2021. And also maybe we'll go through maybe a couple of the top scoring beers that I've done of 2021. I'm going to go through all of those. I need to remember. I think I've got an idea of what they are. But anyway, I'm rattling on enough now. Let's get this beer out of the can into a glass and see if it's up to Quantock's usual pretty high standards. I mean, the key takeaway with a lot of these beers from Quantock have been certainly the nice soft mouthfeel. Something about the water that makes it really good. And you can see here I'm using my cloud water glass, which I had to replace because it broke last year, and I had it bought for me for Christmas. So beer in a glass. Well, it's a lovely looking colour, yellow, thick and hazy, very custard like. I may have poured it a bit rubbish because we've got about a 3-finger head. I would say it's not that compacted really. You can see there it's very sort of like what do you call that? Like a bit wash up liquid sort of thing. Very sort of frothy. But let's see what it smells like, shall we? Yeah, I mean there's lots of citrus in here. A bit of subtleness of sort of that sort of guava, passion fruit. Bit of pineapple, grapefruits, and I can just secrete the creepiness. The creepiness. What am I talking about? The aroma is creeping in from that Talus hop as well. That sort of, which I always found that sort of rose petal, a bit Turkish delight in terms of its aroma. But I reckon it's going to be a nice citrusy, very zesty sort of beer. So let's try it, shall we? Cheers, everyone, and merry in between Christmas and New Year, whatever they call that. Cheers. That is a really good beer. Nice soft mouthfeel, real zesty flavours. The Talus though, that Talus hop, sometimes I'm starting to think now it's starting to get like more like Sabro. We've had it recently, and there are numerous types of beer too. I can't even remember which ones we've had, but it seems to be used more. It is like the sort of cousin of Sabro. And there is very much some of those Sabro characteristics, but there's a little bit more of that sort of rose petal sort of flavour. I mean, you get it more from the aroma, but there's also that flavour almost. It just reminds me of sort of Turkish delight. It's quite a floral flavour. There's lots of lemons and limes in there, grapefruit on the back end. There's a sort of tropical sort of it's one of those sort of tropical flavours that doesn't really sort of, it's difficult to pinpoint the actual fruit flavour you're getting. You just get a nice tropicalness about it. For me though, this is a sort of beer that it's the sort of beer that I would expect from the likes of your Deas and your Verdants in terms of the flavour. It's got a creamy, soft mouthfeel, star of the show there. There's a lot of flavour going on. I'm getting grapefruit now. I'm getting the sort of characteristics of Simcoe, that slightly earthier sort of pininess as well. But it's not overpowering, it just sort of comes in on the back end there. What you're getting up front is a big citrusy, fruity, slightly peppery, bit spice in there as well, but a very good, very well balanced beer. So we've got 4 different hops in there. They've all got enough time and enough ability to shine in this beer to make it a really good beer. And again, Quantock Brewery, they're up there. You know, they could be my top brewery for next year. They're not quite there yet. I don't know whether that's just because I just don't have enough, or they don't because they're a smaller brewery, they don't brew as many. But I've got another one in the fridge, which is a single hopped, and it's using a hop that I've not really heard of before. So I'm going to be interested in that. But if you like your New England IPAs and you like them on the more sort of citrus, zesty sort of side, opposed to your more stony, fruity sort of flavours, this is a very good beer. In terms of flavour, and of course mouthfeel, what it's reminding me of is a bit of the Into the Haze by Dea. It's got those characteristics. It's very, very light. It just sort of rolls across the tongue. A really good beer though. You know, I'm gushing a little bit because it's the first beer that I've drank quite a bit of supermarket beers over the Christmas. You know, when you buy them more, you know, you don't want to be, you know, and you've got people coming, you just want to have a selection of quite a lot of beer. So it's nice to come back to some of these really good breweries and very good beers. This is up there. I mean, it's not the best beer of the year, but it's probably, you know, it's up there with probably the top 10, top 20 beers. It's very, very good. So Quantock Brewery, Unclear Progression, 6.3% New England IPA. Nice selection of different hops in there, all coming out, all coming up out in the flavour. Definitely Quantock Brewery, give them a try. See anything from them, give them a go. If you have seen anything from them, let me know what your favourite beer is from them. But this one is one of the best of a list of very good beers. So let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Unclear Progression. This is a New England IPA from Quantock Brewery based in Somerset. 6.3%, very good beer. Let's go through those scores. So firstly, aroma. Well, yeah, I mean, I would say that even more so now, that Talus hop, the aroma from that is really sort of overwhelming it. There's a lot of zestiness, limes and lemons and citrus fruits in there. But you're getting that sort of very strong Talus characteristic of those sort of rose petal sort of aromas, that little Turkish delight sort of aroma. Smells pretty good though. Smells inviting. I'm giving it a 14 out of 20 for aroma. Appearance, well, I mean, the head's sort of going a bit, and you get this, it's much more of a, with most New England IPAs, you get quite a solid head, but this has got a very sort of washy, sort of washing up liquid type of frothy, foamy head, but it's got a nice lace in the glass. And the colour-wise, I mean, it's a lovely colour, very thick and hazy, pretty good. And also notice there's a little bit, you can see there, the sediment in there. There, you can see that there, sediment. So, bit of sediment in the bottom of the glass there. Whether that puts you off or not, but usually that shows it's a real hoppy sort of beer. So I'm giving it an 8 for appearance. Flavour-wise, well, yes, you're getting the Talus flavours as well. You know, that sort of pineapple, lime, that sort of earthiness as well from the Simcoe. But overall, you're getting a very slight, nice, soft mouthfeel with lots of citrus flavours in there. It's much more citrusy, than it is sort of stone fruit flavoured, which you get with some New England IPAs can be more on that side, but this is definitely more on the sort of the zesty citrus side. Makes it very refreshing, very drinkable. And as I say, it reminds me of a lot of Daya, both in the mouthfeel and those sort of flavours as well. But I think it's pretty damn good. It's just exactly what I want, and it's a nice balance of those four different hops. Idaho 7 brings a little bit, there's a bit of pineapple. I wouldn't say it's overwhelming with pineapple. Mosaic brings the berryness, that earthiness as well that comes in. Simcoe, again, grapefruit, and earthy flavours as well. And then that Talus with a sort of rose petal, rose hip sort of sweetness as well that comes in. Really get all of those hops in there, really, in terms of the flavour profiles. So I'm giving it 35. That's a pretty high score for flavour. Value for money. Well, if there's one thing I love about the Quantock, I mean, it'd be better if it was in a half, 500ml can. But these are very well priced. I mean, I got this from my local bottle shop, which seems to do Quantock more than even the online ones I see, and I think it was like $3.65. So I think that's a very good value for money. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. And my overall experience, well, this is exactly what I want from a New England IPA. Great mouthfeel, zesty, really fruity flavors, but doesn't go too dank, doesn't go too chewy, is more on the sort of citrus and lighter flavors, but there's lots of flavor in there. And it makes it, this is a sort of beer that you just drink down and go, yeah, that's what I want from a New England. If I was having a criticism about it, and this is a very sort of clutching at straws, is that I think when you got the Talus in there, it's like your Sabro can start to a little bit overrun the beer, really, can really take over that flavour. And it's definitely the stronger of the flavours, whether that's just because it's quite unique in its sort of flavour profile, but there's quite a lot of that Talus in there. But I'm seeing it used a lot more in a lot more beer. So, obviously I think brewers like it, and obviously consumers like it. It's pretty good though. I'm giving it 14 for overall experience. Top those scores up, and it's a solid 80. It's a highly recommended beer. So Quantock Brewery, definitely worth your time. They are very, very good, under the radar, sort of, you don't see them much, you don't see them well reviewed much, they're obviously not in supermarkets, but they're down there in Somerset, and I think that they're definitely worthy of being a beer company to watch out for, a brewery to watch out for. This is a very good New England IPA. As I said, I've got some other single hopped beers as well, and I always think that how you can really see how good a brewery is if they can make a single hop beer really sort of bring out the flavors of that beer. So that's an 80 though out of 100, and I think that's a pretty damn good score. £3.65 this can of beer was. So that's it for today. That's it for this review. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've had a Quantock Brewery beer, let me know in the comments which one you've had. But I would urge you to go out, and if you see it, to buy a Quantock and let me know what it is, what you thought of it, because I think they're very, very good. So that's enough. I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you do like it. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. It really helps the channel out. We've got lots more coming up. I've been catching up a little bit on writing some reviews and some ranking type of stuff, and something a little bit different for the music side of the channel. So I'm going to probably bring that into the first week or so of January, when everyone's like, let's get a bit healthier, not drink as much beer as usual. But I'm not doing dry January this year. I just thought, I enjoy a bit too much, not going to do it. So hope you enjoy this, and until the next one, keep on rocking.